men are not launching into the workforce. Let me just do this, because we honor men who are doing the right thing. How many of you guys have a job? Hey, thanks for going to work. And if you've got 2 jobs, you're the best guy in the room. We don't even have men who are looking at going to work as a masculine responsibility. We now have, which is just shocking, in our nation, let me explain how we got into this problem. Our nation has the highest percentage of fatherlessness of any nation on the earth. If you are a boy or a young man growing up in the United States of America, your odds of not having a father are 300% higher than the rest of the world. We have custom architected men and masculinity out of marriage and family. The result is, if you're a little boy and you have no dad, and you don't wake up every day and see your dad get up and go to work, you don't understand that men are made to work. Furthermore, you don't aspire to be like your father and to be a man who works. I'll give you an example. When I was a little boy, my dad was a drywaller, construction worker. My grandpa George was a diesel mechanic. They both wore boots. So ever since I was a little boy, I've worn boots, and I'm not allergic to work. One of my first jobs, I was a longshoreman. I lied about my age, falsified my birth certificate. It was before I knew Jesus. But I spent my days throwing 100-pound sacks of peas off of railroad cars and also taking cargo off of ships at a port. I was 15 years of age. My dad worked. I knew that men work, and you can't be a man unless you work. But if you grow up with a father who doesn't work, or you don't have a father, so you don't see a man going to work, you don't value work. The lack of fatherlessness has caused a lack of commitment to the workplace. I can still remember as a little boy, this verbal process a little bit about my pops. He would sleep on the job site sometimes on the sheetrock and then send the money home to me and my mom when I was a little boy. I could still remember my dad after a long, hard day of carrying sheetrock and hanging sheetrock, coming home and laying on the floor just to stretch out because his back was killing him. And what I remember thinking is, my dad would do anything to feed his family. My dad is willing to sacrifice his own comfort and literally break his own back to feed me. That gave me an aspiration as a young man. I need to grow up and work a job. I started mowing lawns and working at a very, very, very young age because I wanted to help. I wanted to make money. I wanted to be like my dad. I wanted to deserve and earn the things that I obtained. And that makes you a man. In addition, what we're seeing now is the highest percentage of young men, ages 18 to 34, living with who? Their mother. 81% of single-parent homes are run by a mother. So if you're a boy, you grow up, you have no father, you don't see a man. You don't know what a man is. You don't know what a man does. You don't have a man to discipline you. You don't have a man to direct you. Then you see your mom going to work from a very young age. Your mom is your caregiver and your caretaker, and she loves you and she feeds you and she comforts you, which is great until you're in your 30s. And then at some point, you got to stop breastfeeding and go get a job. Right? Or vote for a Democrat. Those are your options. And so what happens is this entire generation of men, they've just had their mom taking care of them, and they hit their teens and their 20s and their 30s, and their mom just keeps going to work and they keep staying home just as if they were a little boy. True or false, if you have a dad in the home, he kicks you out of the home. So dad's like, you got to get off the payroll. That's my wife. She's cooking me a pot roast. Go. Right? I've been waiting 30 years to get you off the payroll and walk around the house in my underwear. That day has come. You got to go now. And so what happens is a mom wants to keep her son as her little boy, and a dad wants to launch him to become a fellow man. And part of that is work. What we're looking at as well today, 19% of males, 1 in 5, ages 25 to 29, without a biological father are idle. You know what that means is? They're not working a job and they're not looking for a job. 1 in 5 men, ages 19 to 25, you know what they have to do tomorrow? Nothing. I'll wake up at the crack of lunch, I'll order DoorDash, I'll watch porn, I'll vape, and then I will vote for a Democrat to feed me. That's the game plan. Am I making sense? If you're new, we can make noise, we can respond, we can holler. If you are a heterosexual man, this is a safe place. Amen. Okay, this is a safe place, okay? In addition, we have a record 7 million men ages 25 to 54 who are not working and they're not looking for work. They call this NILF. It's not what you're thinking. That's naughty. Okay? It was with an N. You're like, oh, finally, there's a point I understand. All right, well, welcome. Okay. NILF is not in labor force. An entire generation, 7 million young men, not in the labor force, not even looking for a job. The reason that work is so good for men, it gives us purpose, it gives us discipline, it gives us authority. It also gives us a sense of accomplishment. It teaches us how to fail with dignity, and it prepares us to become a husband and a father so that we can love and lead and provide for women and children. Amen? This is why work is so important. If you're a younger guy and you're not working, around this room and as well as online, there are business owners and leaders that are looking to hire men who are willing to work. Thanks for joining me. My name is Pastor Mark. I've been teaching the Bible for more than 3 decades and head on constant collisions with woke culture. And I would love to get you more Bible teaching. 2 things you can do. Go ahead and watch the sermon in total and also subscribe to the channel. And I'll just keep sending you Bible teaching and we'll have a lot more fun together.